Disclaimer. I doesn't claim any of the arts. All the picture shown belongs to the respective artist and company. If you are original owner and want me to remove the video, I will do it immediately. Just send me an email to inform me. And if you like my content, please subscribe to my channel. At the beginning of this episode, we see aftermath of Kim's and Milena's fight that made a destruction in middle of that jungle. Park Sunghoo comes out through the trees, and with his broken glasses by seeing what was in front of him surprises. He sees that big destruction that Kim and Milena's fight caused and sees that Kim was victorious in this battle. He was standing and Milena was defeated. She was lying on the ground with her hands tied behind her back by Kim's golden chain skill. She was upset and angry about her defeat against Kim and shouts at Kim that, "Release me right now, you bastard, or I'll tear you to pieces." But Kim, in response of her words, grabs her hair and he pulls it and raises her head with it and says to her that, "Sorry, but I don't have time to play with you anymore." And while that Kim activates his complete hypnosis skill, orders her to speak truth and says, "Let's start the game of truth or truth. How many people have infiltrated? Tell me your purpose for infiltrating." By seeing Kim's complete hypnosis skill, Milena surprises and doesn't understand what is going on. Suddenly, Kim's skill makes her hypnotized, and her eyes gets widened, and she starts saying the truth and says that, "There are 20 infiltrators, including 5 S-rank members. Our purpose is to sabotage the labyrinth raid, and to kill the Guildmaster of Undivided, Kwan Kang Hyuk." After that, scene changes to somewhere else, where that blood has been spilled on a flower. Then we see Secretary Kim shocked by seeing what is happening in front of her. She sees a knife, that which has sunk into Kwan Kang Hyuk's stomach, and blood coming out of it. The person who stabbed him was none other than Vice President of Undivided Guild. He was one of the villains that was infiltrated in this raid. Park Sunghoo, that was there with Kim, heard Milena's confession about infiltrators, and we see Milena that because of affect of complete hypnosis, is unconscious now. In that moment, Kim thinks with himself that 5 S-rank villains, huh? I'm pretty sure there were only 3 before I regressed. There was the gate break incident too. The future is changing little by little. Is it because of me? Kim Tae-hyun turns his head and looks at Park Sunghoo and says to him that, "Anyway, now that we know their objective, let's join Kwan Kang Hyuk." Park, that was surprised by hearing Milena's confession about infiltrators, agrees Kim's words and follows him in that jungle to find the exit. In this moment, Park Sunghoo thinks with himself that, "I can't believe Miranda was really a villain. Did player Kim Tae-hyun know about it from the start? But if that's the case, then why?" Kim Tae-hyun interrupts Park's thoughts by saying to him that, "The way out of here is simpler than you think. This place seems completely different from earlier, but it's still part of the labyrinth. So then there must be a passage that's connected to another space somewhere." After some time exploring the different parts of that jungle, finally Kim and Park, they were able to find the door that they could exit from it. Then Kim continues saying that, "Since it connects to various spaces, we might not be able to get there in one go. But if we keep passing through doors, we'll eventually meet Kwan Kang Hyuk." At the moment when Kim was about to leave the jungle through the door, Park interrupts nervously and tells Kim that, "One thing, I have one question. Why didn't you tell others about this? I'm sorry for doubting you earlier, Kim Tae-hyun, but if you had told Guildmaster about the villains infiltrating from the start, this wouldn't have happened. So why?" In that moment, Kim looks at Park Sunghoo and sees that he is worried about his teammates and guild leader Kwan Kang Hyuk, but Kim responds to Park that he was already told Kwan Kang Hyuk about infiltrators. By hearing Kim's words, Park's eyes gets widened, and he surprises. Park doesn't understand why Kwan Kang Hyuk didn't do anything to prevent it, despite knowing this matter. Park doesn't believe it and says, "What do you mean?" And Kim responds that, "Believe it or not, it's up to you." But Kwan Kang Hyuk already knew about it. Scene changes, and we see a knife that has been cut through a flesh and has blood on it. We see Kwan Kang Hyuk in middle of a betrayal. Vice Guildmaster has been betrayed him and stabbed him with his knife, and 3 members of his guild are approaching him from behind to attack him. One of them has a dagger in his hand, other one has a mace, and other, it seems, that has nothing, and wants to attack Kwan Kang Hyuk with his empty hands. By seeing this scene, Kwan Kang Hyuk laughs and says, "What are you guys doing? This joke is going too far. Isn't that right, Vice Guildmaster?" By hearing Kwon Kang-yuk words, Vice Guildmaster laughs and says, "A joke, you say?" and then tries to finish Kwon Kang-yuk's life with his knife. But in that moment, Secretary Kim shouts at them and runs towards Kwon to rescue him. But out of nowhere, one of infiltrators jumps to the air with a sword in his hand and wants to kill her with it. But Kwon Kang-yuk notices that, and in a fraction of a second, rescues Secretary Kim by making himself target of that sword attack, and makes himself a shield to Secretary Kim. Secretary Kim, by seeing this, shocks, and Kwon Kang-yuk says, "Damn it, that hurts like hell." That 3 infiltrators jump to the air in order to attack Kwon. Kwon Kang-yuk couldn't move his body due to that sword attack, and by seeing Kwon's condition, Secretary Kim yells at Kwon and says that, "Are you okay? He just slashed you." That 3 infiltrators are about to land their attacks at Kwon, but suddenly Kwon Kang-yuk gathers himself together and readies himself for battle and says, "Stay back, Secretary Kim." As he activates his power, his eyes gets bright purple and roars in anger and uses his T-Rex animal power. Kwon defeats that 3 infiltrators with just one move, and by seeing that Kwon is ready for battle, Vice Guildmaster reaches to his coat to take something out of it, and he readies himself to get into a battle with Kwon Kang-yuk. Secretary Kim was in total shock by seeing all of that thing that happened in this raid, and sees Kwon Kang-yuk that has protected her from infiltrators. She gathers herself and says to Kwon that, "Kwon Kang-yuk, you don't need to protect me, because I'm going to fight too." But while that Kwon Kang-yuk is fighting with the infiltrators, says to her that, "Stay still, you can't handle these people, Secretary Kim." By hearing Kwon Kang-yuk's words, Secretary Kim refuses to back down and says, "But at this rate, we'll both die, so I have to fight." Vice Guildmaster interferes in their conversation, and while that he comes out of fire with his mans, says that she's right. "Kwon Kang-yuk, you don't have the luxury to look out for others in this situation. All this time, we've just been hiding our powers. Everyone here is at least a ranker, and there are 4 S-rankers. We're the elite members of the Malignant Guild, and we're here to kill you." Vice Guildmaster sets fire to the skeleton inside his chained lantern he was holding, and takes out that skull from that lantern. And while it is on fire, he activates his skill and readies himself for combat. And in total of 7 villain is now surrounded Kwon Kang-yuk, including Vice Guildmaster. By seeing this, Kwon Kang-yuk says to him that, "You've made a lot of preparations, huh? I thought I had a pretty good eye when it came to people." By hearing Kwon Kang-yuk's words, Vice Guildmaster laughs and says, "Hoo, don't blame yourself too much, Kwon Kang-yuk. The Malignant Guild has been working on this plan for years. There's no way a fool like you could have figured it out." By hearing Vice Guildmaster's response, Kwon Kang-yuk realizes that Kim Tae-hyun was right and says, "Damn it, Kim Tae-hyun was right, huh?" By hearing Kwon Kang-yuk's words, Vice Guildmaster surprises and doesn't understand what is going on. Kwon Kang-yuk continues saying that, "Kim Tae-hyun told me that each of you are villains and that you intend to assassinate me." Damn, I thought it was all nonsense, but it turns out it's true. This revelation makes Vice Guildmaster to shock, and he thinks with himself that, "Kim Tae-hyun, he knew about our plan?" Wait, more importantly, why Kwon Kang-yuk didn't do anything about it. And with this yells at Kwon Kang-yuk saying that, "Why didn't you do anything then?" Kwon Kang-yuk laughs and says, "Huh? Well, a real man doesn't doubt his comrades. As a guildmaster, I can't doubt my comrades." By hearing Kwon Kang-yuk's reason about not taking any action about infiltrators, Vice Guildmaster confuses and says, "What the hell is that supposed to mean? I knew he was stupid, but he's this bad? How many years have we been working under that kind of idiot?" All of the infiltrators are confused and mad about Kwon Kang-yuk's action, and they called him Moran for that. Even Secretary Kim was angry and furious about it and says to him that, "You're telling me you didn't even verify the information? All this chaos just because of you. I can't take this anymore." And in midst of this, Kwon Kang-yuk didn't understand why everyone was mad at him. Suddenly, Vice Guildmaster makes his move and attacks Kwon Kang-yuk with his chained fiery skull. Kwon and Secretary Kim, they are noticed the attack, and fast as Kwon Kang-yuk could, he jumps and rescues Secretary Kim from Vice Guildmaster's fiery skull. And with this, Vice Guildmaster laughs and says, "Good job, Kwon Kang-yuk. Thanks to your stupidity, our plan's a success. Now you can rest assured and die. By hearing Vice Guildmaster's words, Kwon Kung-yuk gathers himself and takes a serious face and sees that Vice Guildmaster's chained fiery skull is coming him and says, "Geez, first it's them, now him. I said I wouldn't doubt you. I never said I'd just take it lying down. Got it, you idiot." Kwon Kung-yuk activates his T-Rex skill and deflects Vice Guildmaster's attack and lands a massive and powerful punch to the Vice Guildmaster's face. That fist breaks Vice Guildmaster's tooth and makes him to cough up blood from his mouth and throws him to the other side. This power that Kwon Kung-yuk has used, its name is Blessing of the Beast Form, Ancient Dragon. At the final scene, we see Kim Ta-yoon and Park Sunghoo are still talking, and Park Sunghoo, with a silly stand, says to Kim that, "So you're saying the Guildmaster knew but still let them be?" And Kim Ta-yoon responds to him that, "If you don't believe me, ask him yourself later." And with that, this chapter ends. Thank you for watching this video until the end. Support this channel by liking this video and subscribing the channel. And if you want me to recap another manhwa or manga, write its name in the comments section. And if you want to know that what happened in previous chapters, you can watch them in this channel. Stay tuned for next chapters.